All righty, welcome back to the Red Quarter, everybody. Promises made, promises kept. You guys asked for a little bit more frequency, and here we are. Second time this week, Phillies opening week, so we had to deliver another podcast. Slim, I don't know if you're like the Nostradamus over there, but you said going into the Dodgers series, you want and you expect the Phillies to be 5-1. Well, there you have it. What do you think about that?
We're exactly where we need to be, and the Phillies have all the confidence in the world. The one guy that we need to get confident, I think the last 2 games he's built some, and that's JT Realmuto, right? I know there's been other brighter stars. There's no doubt about it. But when we play the Dodgers, we need all 9 guys clicking, right? And I'm going to say it right up front. You know what I would do? I would start Rojas all 3 games because I think he gives us the best chance to say what we would look like if we were going to be playing them tomorrow. And I know it's early, but wow, could we make a statement? Am I right?
So I mean, that's very juicy.
I don't want to get too excited here because let me tell you, I'm ready to explode with excitement. Schwarber, I was texting you. Schwarber's
on fire.
It's not ending. I only saw the highlight today because of work, but holy cow, that was a 44-foot home run. Absolutely missed. So how are you feeling? Because I feel like we could make a big statement. Bone said it last week. We beat these guys in both series. Middleton said it on the Phillies show. It wasn't close. I'm not sure what he meant. I didn't go back and check the scores. I don't know if it was 2-1 or we swept them or what it was. But with that being said, these guys feel like they can compete with them. I have my – I'm not sure. You know, I'm definitely – because I know these Dodgers are excellent. They score nearly 5 runs a game at home, on the road. So I think it's 4.8, right? So that's a lot of away runs. So yeah, where are you guys sitting?
So you touched on Realmuto. It's funny. They talked today. Like Thompson went up to Realmuto, asked him if he wanted the day off, and he said, "No, I'll play today. I'd rather have a Sunday off." Well, he must have had the lucky itch or something with 3 hits today because he looked pretty good there. And then the only ones in the lineup today without a hit were Castellanos and Marsh, who seems to be struggling a little bit. Castellanos not so much. Today was the first day he had multiple strikeouts. Other than that, he's been seeing the ball pretty well. You can't blame him for not getting hits, but he's being disciplined at the plate. So, but Marsh, 100%. He seems like he's struggling, and I wouldn't mind a Rojas maybe jump in there because he had a hot bat. And I was surprised with Sosa playing today, but seems like all the Thompson pulled the right strings with guys getting hits today. So
Thompson's been pushing the right buttons, pulling the right strings, however you want to put it. And as Slim predicted, 5-1. The Phils just swept the Colorado Rockies in the home opening series. It was an awesome series. Everyone did their jobs, more or less. And you mentioned JT Realmuto. We'll talk about him because I have to apologize to him early on. But there's a guy that we all have to apologize to. And Slim, I kicked it off with you first, and I'm going to start with you here first, Bones. We wrote off Taijuan Walker, right? We said all the wrong things, and, we do our Feel the Love segment, and I'll be honest, right? I'm not going to sit here and be a phony and say that I didn't have a little bit of tongue-in-cheek on my Taijuan Walker Feel the Love for him. But the reality is he's been getting disrespected a lot. And he came today, and despite all of that, he really delivered. So, Bones, what did you think about that gutsy performance and that from Taijuan today?
Yeah, I mean, he started out, I was listening on the radio, and all you hear is crack, crack. Sounded like, all right, he's going to get hit around today. Like Kevin Stocker wasn't even, done his keys to the game. He goes, I was going to tell you one more. You got to keep the ball in front of you because Bohm had an error. But Taijuan kept his composure, got out of the inning, finished and only giving up 3 hits, 1 walk. He had a hit batter, but pretty good, keeping control. And that's like his game, though. Like, he's not going to strike you out a ton. He's a ground ball pitcher. And once he keeps the ball down and in the yard, he is a pretty good pitcher. So he got his contract. But I'm not completely sold on this. The Rockies are the worst hitting team in baseball in a lot of categories. So,
Right.
I mean, he might have seen better lineups in spring training than he did today.
And
we'll talk about that for sure. Slim, where are you at on him?
I'll tell you what, it really was. I can't believe, because like you said, we're all tongue in cheek. We had fun with Walker, but he gave a in his post game interview. He was talking about how his mom was crying, right? So we have mothers crying, right? We had mothers crying, and I had my friends text me saying it seems like pigs are flying because Walker finally had a good outing, right?
Right,
so,
right.
With Bones, hopefully he gets two more tops. Ranger comes back, good job. Let's see what we can do. Put him back because if he's doing well, great. We're going to have an extreme pitching depth here. He's still under contract, right? For another 2 years?
One more year after this.
Yeah, this year, next year. So, I'm hoping it's not fool's gold. I do think he's going to be better than last year. I don't think he's going to be someone who's going to be getting teed off, especially if we're able to be smart with his starts, right? Like, we let him start against the Rockies 6 starter. That dude, whatever his last name is, Santenzilla, whatever, he's terrible. His ERA was as
Senzatella.
His ERA was as high and as terrible as Walker. He's been in Colorado. Colorado, they get guys like Marquez who pitch well against us, but it seems like these dudes go 5-6 innings and they just let them get rocked and they keep them around for years. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with this guy, he had a good year, and then every year they signed him to a contract, and then every year after that he's just been hurt. So he's only made over 20 starts since he has that contract, and I think it was 2020 or 2019. Yeah, so he's been hurt a lot.
He has been, and we got some early chat activity here. Bonzi says, "I'm a Taijuan guy." So here's the thing about Taijuan, right? And I think you guys really covered all the bases here, right? We can't overreact, but we also got to show a little bit of respect here. And let's take the play on the field off the table for a second, right? We talked about this on our socials, but I'm saying respect from just like a Philadelphia sports fan, a Phillies fan, right? Because you're a Phillies fan first. The guys like Taijuan come and go, right? But here's the reality. Taijuan struggled last year, right? We all saw that. But also, he's on the Phillies, right? And when there's things like the opening ceremony for the home opener, do you really got to boo the guy as he's walking out? Do you got to boo the guy before the starts, right? And we get it, right? We were all 18, 19 years old once, and we've all had a couple too many beers in our life, all the factors that come in play to stuff like this. But there was a lot of people booing. So I think you really do got to check your fan card a little bit when you act like that. I know there's the herd mentality, and we're not going to high horse anybody. But remember, the guy's out there trying to perform for your Phillies. So maybe you don't boo him before he starts. Look, in scenarios like if a guy is disrespecting the city of Philadelphia, if he's disrespecting the fans, if he makes a comment, then he's fair game, right? I'm like, okay, no, fair game. But Taijuan's been very respectful the past couple of years, so I think you got to kind of show him a little bit of respect back, especially after he got some revenge on everybody today. I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, he was respectful to the fans, but to the organization, I don't know if he can be respectful when he's calling out, like saying he should have been pitching, stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though.
He gets paid $78 million. And there's, when I'm thinking about it, booing, right? It can be fun. It can be obnoxious. So, it all depends, I think. I'm not too... It's
not booing. It's when you're booing, right? It's the time and the place.
That moment, right? Because especially opening days at celebration thing, he pretty much
100%.
He's really not that important.
It's a nasty look.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, let him give up the first homer first.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he goes out there and he lets up 4 homers, fair game, right? But, like, before the guy starts, let the guy go out there and don't add to the negativity. But, yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
If we all summer, he would have came up and been like, oh, yeah, everything's great. Meatball.
Exactly.
But they'll be cheering him before his next start, and you know it's going to happen.
Right, and that's the other thing, right? And we'll move on from Taijuan. We wanted to give him a little bit, his flowers, as people say nowadays. We wanted to give them, but the reality is we can't overreact. But what did we learn today, right?
Can we move him?
Can we move him? That's a great point.
That's like we want him to do well, especially with 3 weeks in a row. I'll say it, Marsh. Move package something. I don't know.
I hear you. But what we did see is he can go out there, and as Bones hit on, the Rockies are not the best hitting team in the big leagues. No one's going to say that. But they are a big league team, and he went out there and just pitched 6 shutout innings against them, right? So we don't even need him to do that every time. We need him to bridge the gap. But anything else we want to hit on with Taijuan today or the game today in general? Obviously, the Phils won 3-1.
Well, let's move back to the game yesterday. And
let's go.
Everybody loves Sosa, right? The Sosa looked great. Turner looked great. And before a lot has happened since last night, Hopper was talking about the decision, and he decided not to go with Sosa, right? That was a tough decision. It worked out. It was fine. I think he's trying to feed all his horses. Hopper's really he's like Magic Johnson on a point guard here. He has to make sure everybody gets their carrots, and that's why I like. And I'm sorry, I'm speeding myself up, but that's why I like the different lineups every day. I like seeing the different lineups. It keeps them on their toes, just like I said last week. So Sosa's going to have his time. Hopefully, we can milk his. Because here's the thing: we've seen guys get hot, we see guys get cold. Sosa has been on tears before. So, but yeah, if you play it right, just like with Walker, if he can hit all the strings right, man, Topper, he might be manager of the year. If the Dodgers win 116 games, it's going to be a tough call. But hey, what if we win 109 or something? It's going to be, who knows? I think Topper's in the race for the manager of the year.
So 5 games in, I don't disagree for sure. 6 games in, I don't disagree. But so before I kick it over to Bones, so you're saying, Slim, and Bones respond to this too, as you want, the Edmundo not go riding with the hot bat. You were okay with that?
Yeah, I was okay with that because again, Scott's a guy who's used to starting every day. He's a guy who's still trying to get in his groove. We do have a log jam here with a lot of talent at a lot of the same positions. That's why, so it's going to be, like we said, I'm not sure what this is going to look like. We got to play all 3 of these guys. And Sosa, he played the last 2 games. He was fine. Sit him for a day. He'll be back in there very, very soon, and he's used to that, I think, too. So he has the right attitude. You heard Wheeler actually talk about it. Wheeler talked about Sosa being one of his favorite players to watch just because of his attitude. I think Topper knows his guys. And right now, like I said, I don't think we can get to this point without being 2 years ago. We had to go through Topper sitting there and just letting these dudes do what they want to really, really. Look at Nick Castellanos, like you said last week. I know he had a strikeout or 2 today. I saw that he had a strikeout, but still, 8 walks to 3 or so strikeouts, something like that. It's been a big, big, big difference, and it should carry on all year because these guys they are in it. They are in it for the ring this year. They're really motivated.
100%. Bones, where are you at on the not riding out with the hot hand and Sosa?
So Chris made a good point how he's real professional about it. He knows he's basically the first guy off the bench. He's the
6 man.
He's the super utility guy in the infield for the Phillies. So it's hard to, when he gets hot, it's hard to try to take the other guys out of lineup for so long. Stott, he comes back, he got 2 hits today. It's not like these guys are playing terrible. Trey Turner had 3 hits last night. It's not like he went 0 for 5 last night, So
Turner's look great.
And same thing with Boom. If someone was to have a real rough start, then I could see Sosa coming in the lineup today, staying in there. But right now, it's just this is his role, and he accepts it, and he comes out and he plays. When he does play, he plays hard every day, and it usually, so far, it's producing wins for the Phillies because he's had some big RBIs so far in his appearances.
I mean, talk about maximizing an opportunity, though, right? I mean,
Leads the league in hitting. He's batting .600. He's qualified.
He's leading the league in hitting.
He's qualified as the league leader in batting average. So.
Right. And having a guy on your bench where you can say to him, all right, game 1, I need you to go out there and play short for me. Game 2, I need you to go out there and play second base for me. And he goes up there, big at-bats. He's scoring runs. He like you said, he's hitting the doubles. So he's going out there and he's playing the game. And the guys love him, like Slim said, right? I think Nicky C was asked a question post-game basically saying, do you think that Edmundo would probably be a starter if he was on another team? And Nicky C said there would be no probably. He would be. So these guys have a lot of respect for him in the clubhouse. So this is like our 4th year with him too. So having these guys, and we saw this with the 2008 run, right? It's part of the brand of a championship team. It's having these guys that you can just plug in, have confidence. They're kind of woven into the culture of the clubhouse. All that stuff is important. So I'm really optimistic about that.
So, like, if you go around to, like, the Dodgers, they had Kike Hernandez. They brought him back. He was, like, their utility guy. They also had, like, what was his name, Chris Taylor. You go back to the Cubs when they won the World Series. It was Ben Zobrist, stuff like that. There's guys that on these teams, they float around just when their number's called, they're ready to go.
Great call.
No matter where it's called.
Right, and I think Tyler's out of the lead because he switched his hitting up. But one last point about Topper's decision with Sosa today. We see Sosa, he's absolutely loose and confident in his role, right? So I think we got to keep Stott loose too. So if you would have keep starting him, you're going to get Stott tighter and tighter and tighter, which is something we absolutely don't need. So I think it was both a fine managerial decision strategically on the field as well as a emotionally smart decision. You don't want to make any of these players any tighter than what they need to be.
100%. And before we talk about Game 1 and Christopher Sanchez, who looked awesome, we got to give Kyle Schwarber a shout out, right? He's been crushing the ball. I think he has 4 homers, as we mentioned earlier. He's looked great everywhere, right? He's been that really smart base running decision he made, right, where he was caught between third and home. He waited for the catcher to throw the ball to first, and he looks a little faster this year too, right? He was able to get in there under the tag. So he's been clearly dialed in and has been basically involved in every rally we've had. So shout out to Schwarber. But Christopher Sanchez, man, what a steal we got with this guy. I mean, look at that contract now. That's like a Howie Roseman type contract, right? Like, this guy looks like he's Slim. I know you were really bullish on him, but this guy's like a top 10, ceiling top 10 pitcher in the big leagues. It looks like he's been every time he goes out there, he delivers.
Yeah, it's hard to measure him when we have Wheeler too, because Wheeler is we saw how fantastic he was.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time believing these guys are so good, and they keep proving me wrong, and I'm kind of, I guess the word
that's where I'm at,
kind of in awe, right? Because now we're getting the legit comparisons to the 2010, the 2011 rotation guys with the 4 aces, and when you say that like, man, does that come straight for my heart? So I'm like,
right.
Ooh, Wheeler's as good as Holiday and Lee and Sanchez. And we had this discussion. And if you go back and listen, we passionately defend the old school guys. But I think I'm going to have to lean back and really, 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 really appreciate, and I was thinking this last night, appreciate the art of pitching with these guys. I want to try to watch this year and learn something from watching Wheeler and these other cats, Sanchez, even Ranger, Schramm, especially Painter when he comes up, because he's another 5-pitch guy. The art of hitting is really cool, but man, when you have these aces, it's time to really appreciate what they do. I think I can do that more so now than I could back then. So I really have to take it. I'm really just going to enjoy myself because it's awesome.
Yeah, basically the only blemish we had in the rotation was the Aaron Nola start on Sunday.
Right.
Other than that, they've just been lights out. And you look at them and they just go. It looks like so like uneasy to them. Like they make it look so easy. Don't even look like they're out there breaking a sweat. Like especially Sanchez. Like he just goes out there and throws a ball. He don't even look like he's like getting into it. Like him and Suarez are like the same type of like pitcher in a way, where they just kind of like at Cliff Lee in that World Series game, where they just go out, they're just throwing the baseball, and then whatever happens, and it's usually good things that are happening for them. So whatever they're doing to keep it up, Caleb Kaufman's doing an awesome job with the pitching staff.
Yeah, no, that's a great call out. You're right. The demeanor is kind of like the superpower of this staff, right? They all kind of just go out there, throw the ball. Even Nola, he keeps the even keel as far as the emotion.
Yeah.
I do think that mentally he's the classic. Once he starts getting hit, the hit string, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of pitchers, right? But Nola's really notorious for that. You saw that the other day where he let up the home run. Very next pitch was rocked into left field, a hard hit single. But yeah, I mean the mental game on this staff is just ridiculous. So yeah, Phillies, we swept the Rockies. Game 1 was 6-1. The only thing we really let up this series was what? 2 solo home runs to Goodman, and then the 9th inning with Alvarado today, where he kind of got into some trouble but got out of it, which was nice to see. So no notes on this series. I mean, it was phenomenal.
The only thing take away from the series, they're still not hitting with runners in scoring position sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially with the bases loaded, they're coming up empty-handed. Can't have that. They got away with it, I guess, because they're playing the Rockies, like we talked about. They're not the best hitting team, but if they do that this weekend against the Dodgers, it's not going to fly because this team can hit the ball with the best of them.
Yeah, but don't you think? By the way, 100%. Like the one game, I think we were 0 for 10 at one point. But I can almost spin that into a positive, right? Because I look at this, we won, we swept them.
Yeah.
We scored 5 runs, 6 runs, and they won game 3, despite the fact that we weren't at our peak, right? So if we hit our stride, glass half full, but
and they're still not hitting the starters. They're hitting the bullpen. Like they're getting their hits, but they're not getting the runs to produce. They're getting the hits against the starters, but not the runs.
Circle back to the pitching. I think a couple things just to keep it even keel.
Yeah.
The Rockies in April coming to the East Coast. They're already a bad team. They scored 2 runs over 27 innings here, so that's pretty pathetic, right? So I think there's probably something to be said. I think there's something to be said there. I don't know what exactly, but you're never. The next point is the series coming up next. We're going to see Luzardo again. He's opening up against the Dodgers' #1 guy. With that being said, that's a lot of pressure for a guy who was hurt coming to a big market on a competitive team. I know he'll probably just run his normal routine, but this is a high-pressure situation for Luzardo. I would expect him. I'm expecting us to lose tomorrow's game.
All right, so we're going to transition to the Dodgers here.
Okay.
Like Slim just alluded to, that's perfect. No, let's do it. Nothing anyone else wants to hit on as far as the Rockies go.
I'm excited for this series coming up. I'm super excited for this series coming up. We got some good pitching duels, like I was saying. I'm interested to see what the lineup's going to look like each day.
Yeah.
What are your predictions, or what are you guys thinking? I have a lot. I'll let you guys speak for a moment.
So first things first, just kind of want to set the table, and like you just teased. So this is a really fun early in the season series, right? It has almost that early playoff feeling. Well, number one, the Dodgers are 8-0. They're undefeated. It's the hottest start for a World Series champion in the history of baseball, which that alone is awesome. So they're as advertised. And then the Braves on the flip side.
Talk about them for long, but they just lost a week worth of games. Kudos to the Padres. and to the Dodgers, and it's early, but it's not a good time to lose 7 straight games. I don't care how good you think you are.
No team
Bones.
has made the playoffs starting 0-7. And
Yes.
it's been 44 years since the team that started 0-7 actually finished with a record above 500.
Right. So the Braves have dug themselves into a historical hole, right? Like, there's no exaggeration to this. This is a historical hole that they've built themselves into. And since you guys kind of opened Pandora's box on this now, let's just dive into it, because I really wanted to pick Slim's brain on this. So to me, I thought it was interesting how the Braves were, a week ago, right, were the NL East favorite. Now here we are. They're in a historical hole. And isn't that crazy how the odds have kind of roller coastered like that? Because when the Soto news was fresh, everyone was on the Mets. Then it went to the Braves. So what do you think of that, Slim? And then we'll get back to the Dodgers.
So I'm actually going to Google it right now. If there's somebody in the chat want to Google it, but I think it was either last night or 2 nights. A lot of times my days blend together with all the baseball action that's going on. But the Braves were still, I think, like number 2 or 3 to win the National League. And yeah, I know
exactly.
It was
33% to win the division still.
And that's higher than us?
No.
Oh, then,
I don't believe so.
And the truth is, the Braves are not hitting. Like, there's no one on that team that's hitting.
No.
And they play. I'm not. Yeah, it might be the end to a good thing there. It's probably been said before about the Atlanta Braves, but yeah, right now
the injury thing has to be said, though, right? Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah, and that's what I said last week on the show. I'm like, these guys aren't back on the lineup.
You were on that.
You know. With that said, I think I gave the Braves out to the Red Riders, so that was also kind of silly. You know, I thought they would take one. You know, because I was still couldn't believe it when they were 0-4. You couldn't believe it when they were 0-4. You know, so that's the other thing. We're acting like they just played dollars. No, they lost a 4-game series. Okay, and 4-game series, it gets swept in a 4-game series, like you said last week. That it happens probably less than 20% of the time.
Yeah. Oh, easily, I would say. Yeah, so and by the way, your pick was you're on the right side of history, right? So that was a smart pick by you. You don't apologize for, being analytical. But yeah, let's get back to the Dodgers here. So Slim teased this. We got an exciting series, right? So tomorrow night we have Luzardo versus Yamamoto. So that's an awesome matchup. And the kind of negative aspect, it's on Apple TV, right? And then
is it?
yeah, tomorrow's Apple TV. A lot of people didn't know that.
Work I was hoping.
I'll keep you updated.
I'll for you, bud.
Saturday is Nola versus Sasaki, and then Sunday is Sanchez versus Glasnow. So this is this is an awesome series. Bones, where are we at on this series? What do you want to call out?
So Phillies usually don't fare well against pitchers they never seen before. And the first 2 starters, they haven't seen yet. Nobody, obviously, Sasaki just came over. They haven't seen him yet. Yamamoto, when they played last year, he was on the DL,
he was hurt,
or the
right.
IL. So they haven't faced him yet. But hopefully they can keep the same approach that they have, be disciplined at the plate, because these guys are going to throw junk up there
right.
to get guys out when they got 2 strikes on them. So as long as they're disciplined at the plate, I think they can keep up with them, because the pitching's going to, hopefully Nola can bounce back from his last start. But other than that, I can see this is going to be a heavyweight bout.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real tight series. But, again, I led off with I would start Rojas to set the defensive tempo, because I'm telling you, the Dodgers aren't going to miss a beat. With the Rockies series, I text you guys, hey, the Rockies look pretty good defensively. Doyle made a good play in center field, and right after that, they kind of fell apart in the infield. So maybe it's just Doyle that's pretty good defensively over there. The Dodgers, without a doubt, are great defensively. Tomorrow's game, I'm looking for, like I said, Luzardo. He could get rocked, and I can see us losing that way. Again, I like the Dodgers.
It's a big spot for Luzardo, right? National stage against the Dodgers. It's a huge spot.
Big spot, huge spot, and I'm afraid that the Dodgers, we've been making the plays, all right, everything's been fine, but there's going to be games, and it's going to be a high intense game, like I think it's going to be. Defense might come down, might be the difference maker there. And we saw Rojas had the best game of his life, Topper said, right? When's the last time Brandon Marsh had the best game of his life? Rojas he's laying bunts down. It's awesome. The second game, we're going to rock Saki. We're going to rock that dude. I'm not even worrying about that game. Dodgers win by multiple runs tomorrow, unless Rojas is in there starting, and he's going to have a diving catch. I'm telling you, I can feel it. We're going to kick butt game 2, and then game 3. That should be the Sunday night game, and it's not the Sunday night game. It's Sanchez versus Glasnow, and that's going to be the tiebreaker, and that's going to be the best one. It's going to be the best one because it will be 1-1.
Chris brought up a good point with Phillies are going to rock Sasaki on Saturday. I think so too. I think the crowd's going to eat all over him, crying in the dugout after getting pulled from the last game after 1 2/3 innings. He's not looked good in either of his 2 starts so far this year. And coming into Philly early in the year, it's going to be playoff atmosphere in April against this team. So
Phillies fans, forget everything I said earlier about Taijuan when it comes to Sasaki. Let sick the hounds on him. You know, if you smell blood in the water, go after him. Because, like Bones said, the mental game for him has not been on point, and you're coming into Red October in April. So let's go and let's make sure we get that advantage there. Get Slim.
Full disclosure, so we don't have a big cat from part of my take. Devin's actually from St. Louis. That's why his fanhood is so soft. Okay, so that's why he gets a little soft on us here sometimes. We don't want to We don't want to be. We don't want to be millionaires leading the sports media industry. Then Devin have to come out the closet and tell us that he's been a St. Louis Cardinal guy. But
baseball heaven.
All kidding aside, the truth is with Saki, and Saturday for sure is going to be a mental thing, and everyone's playing up this mental thing. But really, going back to spring training, they said his velocity wasn't there. So that's where you hate it to be the be-all, end-all, but it really is. If you don't have the fastball, if you don't have the speed, these guys, they see the speed. There's guys who throw 100 miles per hour on every team now. So they're seeing speed. If they're throwing something just a little bit lower, they're going to destroy it. And, and it was interesting because that's what's going to happen with Walker. So I'm not sure where Walker was at today, but hopefully his numbers are a little bit higher like they were in spring training than what they were last regular season. That's something I got to double back and check. Or in the comments.
Fun series. I'm amped up for it. And I'm sure Bryce is going to have his moments, right? He always seems to step up, the showman, right, in these opportunities. So I'm excited for this one. Anything else on the Dodgers? I had one closing point I wanted to kind of just make generally, but anything specific on the games that you wanted to hit on?
Not too much on the games. One other point, because we did, again, try to keep it even keel. Last night, bases loaded, or was that Monday or Tuesday? Whatever, bases loaded. I think it was last night. We had, who was it? All 3 people struck out in a row. It was Bohm. It was Harper, Bohm, and then Schwarber, I believe. 1, 2, 3, or something along those lines. That was disgusting to watch.
That was Freeland pitching, right?
That was last night.
Yeah,
Kyle Freeland pitching.
Yeah. Harper took one right down the middle to play a 2-2 count.
These games are hard for us to turn around, trying to watch the full games and talk about it. I really got more kudos now as a podcaster for these baseball players with the grind.
It's a grind. So the one thing I wanted to kind of hit on, as far as stacked monster teams, right, are the Dodgers the most likable ever? It's hard to hate them, given Mookie, Freeman, and Shohei. Like, are they the most likable, monster team ever?
Yeah, I think so. And
right?
To me, they kind of remind me, they're super duper likable. And this is funny.
Which is so weird. It's so weird. That never happens.
Why do you think it is?
I think it's because Shohei's like, obviously he's from Japan, so he brings that whole other allure. He's like the generational guy. Mookie has the story where the Red Sox made such a bad move on him, and he kind of just like has been proving them wrong ever since. And then Freddie Freeman just, you can't not like him.
Yeah, he's Freddie Freeman. Just kills.
He's Freddie Freeman. Yeah.
Bigger than the Yanks.
But the one point I want to make about Sunday's game, the Phillies' top three guys, Harper, Schwarber, Turner, don't fare so well against Tyler Glasnow. Not really a lot of bats otherwise, but
right.
Nothing good coming out of them at bats here. Got a $182 on Schwarber and Turner, and Harper 222 in 9 at bats. Schwarber and Turner were 11.
Rough. Well, hopefully they turn that around. All right, and we will be live Sunday night, so we'll be reacting live to all, the entire series.
Yeah, glad it's not Sunday night, Chris.
Yeah.
We would get booted off.
But, Slim, let us transition here to your weekly segment, Slim-Pick-Ems.
All right, let's
what do you got for us?
So it's still a little early, so you might have to look at look at headlines, but I got 3 games for you. You can take the Baltimore Orioles -1.5. You can take the Seattle Mariners -1.5 tomorrow night, and you can also take the Diamondbacks -1.5 tomorrow night. And I laid these ones out. The Orioles are playing the Royals. The Baltimore O's should be about probably +155 -1.5. Let me see what else. I'm trying to do these lines real quick on top of my head. The Diamondbacks are favorite, so they'll probably be plus money. If you take them on the money line, that's -135. If you take them -1.5, like I'm telling you, you're probably going to get them at +125. And let's see if I'm right. Seattle's +110. You're probably going to see them at +165, between +175. Take them -1.5. And is that all of them I said? I think I did. Oh.
You just gave 3.
Right, but of course, I actually got this Slim special. I already alluded to it. The Dodgers -1.5 tomorrow. They'll probably be close to even money. They're probably going to be moving between even plus 105, -105, plus 110, -110. And then the Phillies on Saturday. Okay, and let me figure it out. Let me see who's starting here on Saturday.
You're spoiling them here, man.
Yeah, but the Phillies on Saturday are also going to win by -1.5. Let me see if they got. Yeah, I don't see what the line is. We should be a favorite in that game. But yeah, you can lay the juice, lay the extra 1.5 with Aaron Nola. So yeah, that's 5 for you. 4-0 tomorrow, and then 1-0 Saturday. O's, Mariners, D-backs, Dodgers tomorrow, Philly Saturday.
There you have it, Slim-Pick-Ems. Ride with Slim, because we will be. Very nice, very nice. Let us transition here to on this day in Phillies history to close up shop. Oh, it's a tight episode.
Oh, yeah, this is real good. I was looking at that time. We're under 40 here. So on this day, this is a good one. On this day in Phillies history, 2006, Phillies opening day, Jimmy Rollins extends his hitting streak from the previous season to 37 games. Phillies lost the game 13-5 against the Cardinals, but J-Roll did extend his hitting streak to 37 games.
That was an exciting time.
Yeah, and
that was before they even won a division.
Right.
Oh wow! Yeah, right. When we needed those moments in the summer and stuff, and like you said, at least it carried us all off season.
Yeah. I remember back then, younger and more naive. I didn't know that a hit streak could extend seasons. So I remember thinking about that, oh wow, that's really cool, and almost being super skeptical that was even a thing. And then seeing him actually continue it, that was awesome.
Did Utley's go over to another year, or was that all in 1 year?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I recall the hit streak. He was what? Was he in the 30s?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the 30s, I remember. Yeah. They don't do that anymore, man.
No.
What's the last really nice hit streak? Oh, it was,
Phillies?
what's his name? No.
Whit? Did Whit have one?
What's his name? Help me out, Adam. He was on the Arias. He had
Oh,
a nice
Luis
one.
Arias, yeah.
Yeah, he had a really nice one a couple years ago.
Yeah. You're right, he did.
All right.
And then one more on this
Yeah,
date.
hit us.
Born 38 years ago, former Phillies great Jay Bruce.
There you go.
Happy
Jay
birthday,
Bruce.
Jay Bruce.
Happy birthday, Jay Bruce. All right, guys, we have an awesome series coming up this weekend. Go Phils. Let's represent. Let's continue that undefeated streak against the Dodgers in the past year or so. We will be checking back in this Sunday, so you'll be seeing us in a few days here. So this is exciting stuff. Bone Slim, I'll talk to you soon, guys. We're out of here. Go Phils.